Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am be rounding out 2017. Can you believe it's the end of 2017 and almost the beginning of 2018? Because I can't. But today I'm going to be doing a quick video of my top 5 books of 2017. Both the ones that I loved and the ones that I didn't like so much. So to get started, I'm going to do the top 5 books that I didn't like this year. Ready? Let's go. So, 4. No, they aren't any particular order. They're just kind of the ones that popped up as I remembered them. So it's not like 1 is the worst and 5 is the best. There's no order. So, the first book that I remember that I did not like this year was Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. Now, it wasn't because of all the drama that surrounded it about the alleged racism and the alleged trigger warnings that happened in this book. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So, that's it. Like, it just wasn't a good book to me. It wasn't as good as Divergent was. It just, I don't know. Like, it was predictable, you know. They end up becoming friends and deciding to overthrow the patriarchy and all that kind of good stuff. It just, not my favorite. Not my favorite. Number 2, Origin by Dan Brown. I finished this one over my Bali vacation, and once again, I think I just prefer Dan Brown's other books more than I liked this one. I don't think I liked the symbology as much as I have liked it in Inferno, Angels and Demons, The Lost Symbol. I felt like a lot of the symbology and like Robert Langdon's job wasn't as necessary in this book as it has been in the past, and it also ended up being kind of predictable as well. So that's kind of what I thought about Origin by Dan Brown. It just wasn't the book for me. Yeah, predictability, the symbols weren't as great. The history behind everything wasn't as believable as I would want. I mean, you could believe that the math component of this would come about, but maybe not so much everything else. And I think that's what got me on that. So now that I've consoled my puppy, so yeah, that's Origin by Dan Brown. Not my favorite of anything like that. So just, I prefer his other books a lot better. I still like Dan Brown. I just didn't like this one. Okay, so that leads me to number 3, The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I haven't read the rest of the series, so who knows? I might enjoy the rest of the series. I only read the first book, but the first book I just didn't. Oh my god, my dog beats me. Oh my goodness. The first book I just did not enjoy at all. I didn't enjoy it. And I normally really like historical fiction, you know, King Arthur, Nordic, like all that. I normally really enjoy those types of books, and it had magic and all this other stuff, and I expected to really like it, and it was a hyped book and it's a hyped series, but it wasn't the book for me. You know, if I ever get bored, I might decide to try another book or try the next one. Who knows? Probably not. Number 4, The Selection by Kiera Class. Another one I just did not enjoy. I mean, it's supposed to be like, it's not apocalyptic, but you know, like the world has changed. We've been in a couple world wars with China and other things like that. I mean, the main character's name is America. Like, come on, really, that's what we decided to do with the main character's name. Obviously the main character, who's obviously gonna win this whole entire thing, which makes it seem like America wins, beats out whatever weird conjoined nation we are now. But whatever. I mean, you know, the girl who doesn't want to win, who already tells the prince, I don't want to win, but I want to be here for my family, so I'll help you figure out the other girls. Like, but obviously I'm going to fall in love with you, because what else is there to do? Hi, Barrett. You always come up here during the videos. You were asleep. You were so asleep. Is that your new Christmas toy? You want to show everybody your new Christmas toy? You've already demolished it. Want to show everybody it? Look at the camera. Look at that. Okay, sit down. Good boy. And number 5, a highly anticipated book. A very... Barrett, we can't play with this one if it still has a squeaker. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for any subsequent squeaking that's about to happen. But a very anticipated book. It has a cult following. It is just huge, and I did not enjoy it. And that was Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I really wanted to, like, really love this book. I really wanted to, but I didn't. I did not enjoy this book. I didn't enjoy the whole series. Like, with Sarah J. Maas and A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Thorns and Roses, like, I didn't enjoy either of the, I didn't enjoy the first one. I liked the second one, and I was alright with the third. But I enjoyed the series as a whole. Shadow and Bone, the Grishaverse, I just didn't enjoy it at all. But I still somehow managed to read all 3, so kind of my fault. It was predictable. Like, we all knew who was going to come out as the winner in the end. We all knew who was going to be defeated in the end. We all knew who was going to die. You know, there were multiple languages and multiple worlds and multiple places and cultures, but you couldn't really tell the difference. And so that was just kind of like, well, you don't, like, you say they've got different languages, but we don't see them. There's so much history that is brought up in flashes that isn't actually talked about. It's just a lot. It's a lot that I'm not going to go into this video. I keep saying I'm just going to do a video entirely on just that, on that series instead of each book, because there are lots of reviews on the books, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So those are the top 5 books that I did not enjoy in 2017. Now for the top 5 books that I loved this year. If you've been following me on any sort of social media or on this channel, then you already know what the first 2 books are that I loved this year were. I mean, I have talked about them ad nauseum, so I'm not going to talk about them much today. But if you haven't heard, then you should probably subscribe to my YouTube channel so that way you can hear about them and watch them. But the number 1 book, these are not in any order, but it's the first one that popped in my head. The number 1 book that I really enjoyed this year was The Hate U Give. Now, I've already done a full review on this, and I've gotten to see Angie Thomas in person, which was super exciting. So I'm not going to go into details. Just know that I loved this book. It worked on my emotions. It talked about a lot of important things, and I just loved it. I loved it. Okay? Next up was Dear Martin by Nick Stone. Of course I love Dear Martin. I did a whole giveaway for Dear Martin by Nick Stone, and once again, great. I loved the way it was written and the ideas that it brought up and the concept of trying to seek out Martin Luther King Jr. in order to provide some insight and hopefully some guidance in some tough decisions presented by a young boy finding his way through this world and dealing with police brutality and subsequent racism. So my second favorite book of the year. Third, I really enjoyed Carval by Stephanie Garber. I finished it on my trip to China this year, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game, the world, the concept. It wasn't predictable to me, and it left us with a huge cliffhanger. So I'm really excited for the second one, which I believe does come out in 2018. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna look up all my most anticipated 2018 reads and try and do a video on that as well. But I really enjoyed Caraval, and I loved the game. I loved the game. I loved the twists and turns. I thought she did an amazing job. Number 4, A Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. I finished this right at the beginning of the year, and it changes your thinking of things. That, and I'm obsessed with Grey's Anatomy. I absolutely love it, and I love Shondaland. But like, just the way she had to come out of her shell, like, I'm really gonna try in 2018 to truly do a year of yes. I think that is really important, to get yourself to do more and to not be so afraid of a lot of things. So if you haven't picked it up, pick it up, leave it on your nightstand, read it little by little throughout the year, and you won't regret it. And then finally, I already mentioned this, but A Court of Mist and Fury was another top 5 favorite book this year. I absolutely loved it. I have read it. I have listened to it now twice. I've listened to it now twice. And I really love it. I don't know. I love the world. I want to go to Valaris. I love all the ships that are in it, even though it started to be, you know, in the third one, it started to become a, you get a ship, everybody gets a ship. But still, it doesn't matter. I really enjoyed A Court of Mist and Fury. Are there some technical aspects that I did not enjoy about it? Of course, but I loved the story. And sometimes you just have to enjoy the story and the journey and not try and nitpick at all the details, or else you're missing out on something that you might actually enjoy. I already said the first one and the third one, a little iffy. Cannot wait for the new one coming out. I think in 2018 as well. Because that will be really exciting, and I can't wait to step back into that world and into Prithian and into the world of the fairies. So that is my top series of 2017. Like, that's what that is. Versus Throne of Glass. I did read all of the Throne of Glass. Not in the same boat, in my opinion. I believe the Throne of Glass series is her first series, and then A Court of Thorns and Roses is her second one. But Throne of Glass gets better as it goes on, but it starts off just terrible. But that's a complete and different tangent. So those are my top 5 books of 2017, both the ones I loved and the one I didn't like. What are some of the books that you loved this year? What are some of the books that you didn't like? Are some of the books on my list flip-flopped from you? Like, did you like some that I didn't like? Did you not like some of the ones that I liked? I want to know what you have. Maybe I can add them to my new list for 2018. But y'all, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Follow me on the social medias, and until next time, keep turning the pages.